I just got this new tarot deck. It is the Gregory Scott Tarot. And if you don't know who Gregory Scott is, he is a YouTuber that has a lot of videos that cover tarot and a variety of other topics. So this deck is also coined a tarot of positive clarity. So this artwork looked really, really beautiful. And, I really like the idea of having a Rider-Waite based deck that has, it's a little more modern, up to speed. I do have a Rider-Waite deck, and I do connect with it because there's so much symbolism. But I've always been drawn to these Rider-Waite style decks with different artwork, and I'm especially attracted to ones that have romantic elements to them, or just have a more like a bolder art style. So again, this is the box. So it's just one of those basic deck holder box. Sorry. Okay, so open the top, and we're going to go through the entirety of the deck. So that is the front, and then they have a booklet with it. Everything is shrink wrapped. I also do this because, if someone buys a deck from not Amazon or directly from Gregory Scott, they might, I always want to make sure that people are getting verified decks. Now this deck, I believe, just came out, so may not be any that are being distributed that are not authentic copies, but it's a real problem in the tarot world. These fake decks going out, and the quality just isn't as good. Not much love put into them. Okay, so all right, now I can see the back. So these are the card backs, and there's the ancient runes there on the edge, and it looks like they have the elements as well, and these really small. I don't have autofocus on, so you guys may not be able to see. It's got stars and GS initials on the corners. So, okay, so let's take a look at all these. Yeah, he does astrology as well. So, and this deck was produced by Lo Scarbo, or yeah, Lo Scarabio. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. Like, my mind always says it one way, but then, I never know if I'm saying it right. So, all right, so first card, the Fool. I just love how bold the art style is. That really works for me. Then the Magician, which is the cover of the box. And I'm trying to see if there's any symbolism that sticks out to me, but we have High Priestess. And I love this. The Empress has Venus all over her dress, the Venus symbol. I just love that card. That was one of the reasons I got this deck. Because, the Empress is about comfort, but it's like her magnetism, her allure that is very strong. And then the Emperor does have the Aries glyph on him. I also like that he's sort of pointing to this, it looks like it's some sort of blueprint for, some sort of fort or some sort of protections. But I do like that idea of him being someone that has a lot of say about his kingdom, and detailed aspects of it, and delegating, making a lot of decisions. What's really interesting is the hero font here is a child actually in this deck. Let me see if there's any other symbolism that I can see. I'd be very interested to see his take on why that is. because I have a few theories, but I would like to be able to see. Oh, this is very interesting. So the lovers, it's taken on a more, I guess like a realistic approach to the lovers, because usually the lovers is like a really dramatic card, which some people might be really drawn to. I love the lovers card and the manga tarot because they're very much like wrapped up in each other, and you know it's always like some big momentous card. But some people see the lovers as Gemini and not Libra/Venus. So if you take that approach, then yeah, that's a better depiction of the lovers. But the Chariot, which is led by lions in this one. The Chariot, which is led by lions. And what's really, really interesting about this is that um he's got the glyph for elemental water, which because the Chariot is associated with Cancer. So and that 444, that might be an angel number, which I forget what 44 means off the top of my head. And what's interesting is that removed the lion and he added the lions to the Chariot card, but removed them from the Strength card. So this is very interesting. Strength over the mind, right? The inner critic. And it's because Strength is very much a compassion, patient card. So it takes a lot of compassion to want to free yourself from your own inner critic, or free another person. I don't see any glyphs or symbols on this one off the bat, but this is the Hermit. And I'm going to go through these faster because I'm kind of just stopping, and I'm not really going as quick as I should. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. And I think he calls it just the wheel. Oh, that's such interesting, like angels on top and, the underworld on the bottom. So interesting. Oh my goodness, look at this card, Justice. Oh my gosh, that is incredible. I love that. The Hanged Man. Almost looks like he's manifesting, right? It's like he's in one position, but his mind is bringing forth. It's so interesting. This is very interesting. So this is the Death card in this. And I think he's focusing on the renewal of death rather than the actual process of dying. So it's incredibly interesting. Temperance. It's interesting because I forget what glyph this is on her dress. I'm assuming it's balance, because obviously temperance is about balancing. Um, but it might be passage of time too, because it looks like he's got the, maiden mother crone aspect, and it's a card of femininity, which is an interesting take because it's typically associated with Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, therefore it's masculine nature. But he said he created this deck for real people and could give immediate results, immediate answers without losing depth. So this is a very, very, very real depiction of the devil. You take away the scary Capricorn looking goat with the fire, and you sort of boil it down to what the real essence is. Very, very beautiful deck. The Tower. I like that. And what's interesting is like it's striking the top specifically. Because in other versions, usually the whole foundation is crumbling, and that's a lot of the time what people depict the tower as is crumbling foundations. But here it's almost like saying like, careful about going to the top, because sometimes there's only down from here sort of thing. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at this. That's the star. And this does make sense because it's associated with Pisces, so it's got a little bit of that water element there. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Okay. And I like this deck because it definitely has like it's almost like a style of anime, but it's not real anime. It's like kind of like an in between like cartoon and anime. It's very pretty, and that's the moon. And that definitely makes sense of uncertainty or confusion. Like the moon is a light, but at the same time, it's like it illuminates things. Its illumination creates shadows as well, basically. And I love this. So the sun is an astrological wheel. That's very cool. Oh, interesting. Judgment. I'm really gonna like using this deck. It's such a interesting and different take on these deck designs. Because I prefer decks that are more universal and less like niche. But I think he's just boiled down these cards to their real essence. And the world has been very much kept the same. I love that it's a male here instead of a female because it is typically a female in the world card. So it's really beautiful. Okay. Ace of Cups. Doing its standard Ace of Cups thing. Two of Cups. This is so pretty. Look at that. This has more of the essence of the Lovers than the actual Lovers card did. I mean, in the sense of like traditionally, you know. I mean, maybe outside right away. Oh, look, I love this too. It's men. It reminds me of like a bro night or something, you know, like I love this. I'm someone that's very much like gender inclusive. Um, so I love it when things are gender bent. And it allows for more, it doesn't allow so much rigidity or like rules, it's just like just allowing things to just be. So that's the Four of Cups. Really interesting. I wouldn't have necessarily went right for this depiction, so I'll have to sit with this one for a bit. It's very beautiful though. Oh, I love this. And when you put a funeral aspect on it, it adds a little more like validity for the querent, like it's valid to like feel a sense of loss. Because I find a lot of times like it almost can make it out to be like someone's just crying over spilt milk, so the adding the aspect of mourning really helps. I love this too, Six of Cups. Like, so you could see this as mother and daughter, but like based on my knowledge of Six of Cups, I kind of see this. No, I do see it as that, but I see this almost like revisiting your inner child and like loving on your inner child. And like the apple is like kind of like knowledge, like passing knowledge or nourishment. So interesting. Okay. And then you also don't know in that card, it looks like she's giving it to the child, but is the child giving it to her? This is very interesting. You would have to intuitively sort of guide yourself. Um, oh, I love this. Seven of Cups. The boy's a daydreamer. Isn't that cute? All right, so what do we have here? Eight of Cups. It's so interesting. I love that. Nine of Cups. Look at that, because normally it's like a man sitting with all these cups around him. I'm trying to remember what the Nine of Cups is in the manga as well. But look at this. It's like because the Nine of Cups is contentment usually, like in comfortability. Um, but this takes on a numerology aspect of it, of being like attainment and fruition, like something coming to fruition, like right before the completion of the 10. That's so interesting. love that. But very much feeling comfort and accomplishment, right? And then the Ten of Cups. This obviously takes on a little more of that traditional Rider-Waite style. Okay. All right, here we have the Page, usually the messenger of blessings. This is so, wow, look at this. Knight of Cups. Taking away the horse. No more guy and a horse, you know. But there is, it's almost like action through inaction there. It's really interesting. The action is energetic action almost. Queen of Cups. Back to this mermaid from like the star. It's beautiful. And then we have the King of Cups. And in the tapestry behind him is like these kids playing. I wonder if the rest of the kings will have something similar, where they have this like thing behind them sort of depicting their, almost like their lineage or like their crest, if you will. So there's a pentacle on this one for the Ace of Pentacles, but it's on a crown. Which to me, this makes a lot of sense. And I like that he wanted to keep this real without completely getting rid of, without completely just getting rid of the Renaissance-y, like fantasy aspect. He's added a few nuances that are definitely his signature. And we have the 2 there. We had Roman numeral 2, but I believe you could count that as Gemini as well, which again, balance. And then you have this infinity ring at his feet. 3 of Pentacles. Look at that. Yeah, woman, blacksmith. Putting in that hard work. 4 of Pentacles. Wow, that is so, look at that. Oh, that's so interesting. I love that. I'm probably saying interesting so much, but 5 of Pentacles. Again, all of the 5s dealing with some sort of chaos or conflict or competition or something of that nature. 6 of Pentacles. This shows definitely more of the giving than the receiving, but the 6 can definitely have a receiving aspect of it too. But then again, the joy on her face, that could be her receiving. Oops, it's starting to slide. Okay. 7 of Pentacles. So obviously 7 of Pentacles is usually about harvesting. So something that's not quite ready, but in time will be. Okay, 8 of Pentacles, of course. Now, it's been argued, I've heard before that the 8 of Pentacles is like the apprenticeship and the 3 of Pentacles is more like union and merger, or like merger, like to where like someone has said like the 8 was almost like the lower aspect. And I don't know, I've definitely seen the 8 being more like being adept, but kind of interested if anybody else has had that connotation. Again, with the 9 of Pentacles, look, it's like it's a male here. It's interesting. So for the Cups and for the Pentacles, they had been switched. So, and the 10, you know, there's definitely a sense of affluence, because obviously if you were to have like a family portrait painted for you, that is a symbol of money, but it's literally the attainment is something tangible, like something out of it, you know, whereas like with the Cups, it was just family, you know. So interesting. Oh wow, this is so beautiful. Page of Pentacles. So interesting. Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. And the King. And let's see in the back. Does he have any? Yeah, nothing behind him. Okay, so that won't be a recurring theme. But all that gold, right? All that gold. Okay, Ace of Wands. Oh, we're going to get a lot of energy out of these cards. Because that's an interesting thing, too, with the Pentacles. Like, and outside of the ones where there was a lot of work, it was almost like a lot of, there was a more immobility there. So I'm interested to see how the Wands come out. And this is the Two of Wands. Interesting that she's holding this like glass ball, which may be like a crystal ball of like seeking direction, which definitely makes sense. And then the Three of Wands is, you know, again, this is, if we're talking about a story arc, it's coming from this place of indecision and assessment to a place of, okay, now we're moving forward. Four of Wands. It's so beautiful. Five of Wands. And you know what? It's funny because Five of Wands can be like fighting, you know, deciding whether what you're fighting over is worth fighting over. And, you know, trivial matters is a connotation that comes up. So it's kind of funny that like this grown adult is like ready to full on like slap a kid. Full on ready to drag someone and they're like little kids. It's so funny. Six of Wands. That is so, I wonder if there's going to show, because in the Rider-Waite, they show like a jealous person. I don't really, maybe that guy back there. But he doesn't look jealous. He just looks like not amused or just like, meh, she's not that great. But I was kind of hoping to see, maybe that was intentional, maybe not. But he definitely doesn't look like, I don't know. It's probably not going to like, I hate AutoZoom because it never works out for me. Seven of Wands. And that's interesting too, because usually the person with the one wand is at the pedestal, and the others are coming up. But this still very much has a me versus them aspect. Eight of Wands. Very interesting. I keep saying interesting. I wish I would stop. Okay. Nine of Wands. Sorry, I was looking. Her arms are like cut and bloody. So that is showing sort of the almost the guarding having to fight for something. And then the Ten of Wands. Page of Wands. The red hair gives me that Aries feel. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. Got that Leo line back there. And the performance. Yeah, got a Leo vibe there. Oof, we got a Leo vibe here too with this king. Look at this. My daughter's a Leo rising, and this is every day at home. Every day. But yeah, there are less of the glyphs and symbols in the pip cards. They're mainly in the majors, which I can completely see why that decision was made. Okay, here we go. Ace of Swords. Again, interesting. It's and so both of the sword and the wand cards had a person in there, but the pentacles and the cup had just the conduit, if you will. There you go, 2. That's so, I love that so much. Like being blind to like a solution right in front of you. This is beautiful too, 3 of Swords, which you see the man leaving, but very often that is, you know, a big association with this card. It pops up in love readings quite a lot. But this can also just be like, this can deal a lot with like your mental disposition. Like if you tend to be a pretty bad inner critic, this can be a card for that too. 4 of Swords. You know, it's I usually see this as an arrest card, but it's like, how are you supposed to arrest? It's funny. All right, 5. That's just plain rude. 6 of Swords. Seven. Here's the 8. All right, here's the 9. Ten of Swords. I would be interested to hear. I think he might have had a video on this where he goes through his own deck before it was released, and he talks about some of his reasoning behind why he picks certain symbols. I didn't watch that because I wanted to be completely surprised by the deck. So I will probably go watch that after this. But page. I love this like Ravenclaw feel, right? Like a blend of Slytherin and Ravenclaw. Well, actually, yeah, like 2 or 3 of the cards gave me a Ravenclaw feel, but the rest of these give me like total Slytherin vibes. And the wands are giving me total Gryffindor vibes. And that was the Knight of Swords. And I love that. It's like, you know, it's not like even though the sword is there, it's like an argument, like berating. I've done that to so many people, by the way. I Knight of Swords a lot of people. Queen. Oh my gosh, look, those are people hanging in the background. That gives me, it's almost like a Game of Thrones type of vibe. What was her name? Cersei? Oh my gosh, it's been forever since I've watched that show. And then the King of Swords. It's saying knowledge is power because his hand is like drawing up all these glyphs and stuff. Really, really amazing deck. I'm excited to work with this. All right, so I'm going to do a speed run of these cards because I